In this video, I'm going to be breaking down exactly how you're going to start an events-based business and get business funding in 2024. Guys, my name is Brian Waldron. If you're new to the channel, what I've done is I've been able to do over $3.5 million in events-based sales and now have moved on to create the #1 events-based consulting company in the country with showing over 400 clients how to find, fund, and fill their very own event space. Let's get straight into it. One of the #1 things that you want to do when you are getting into an event space and trying to get funding is you definitely want to understand the market, right? Understand, one, is this a business that's even for you? You really want to do your market comp analysis, which is something we're super big on in Event Space Elite. In our roadmap, one of the first things that we ask you to do in the roadmap is do something called a market comp analysis. That's where essentially you survey the entire market, see what people are charging, seeing what they're providing, so that you can see, can I even match this, or am I going to fall behind in the competition? Because remember, when you are going out and creating your event space, your clientele, or should I say your potential clientele, is looking at all these other event space owners and they're comparing it to you. So you definitely want to make sure that you've done your homework and you've researched the market before you even step foot and spend a dime on getting event space in this industry. One of the #1 things that I really talk about with the market comp analysis is that when you are pricing your packages and whatnot, you have to know what's out there in the market. You have to know what people are providing. Okay, cool. If everybody's providing clear Chiavari chairs, if everybody's providing grass walls, if everybody's providing balloon garlands, and I come in just providing regular tables and chairs, it's gonna be really difficult to beat everybody else. And all I'll really be able to do is compete on price. And if that's all you have to compete on, there's no such thing as winning when you're the second cheapest. The second thing that you really want to do is develop a solid business plan. Now, everybody who's an Event Space Elite actually has a copy of our Trusted and True business plan that's already done for them. However, if you are doing this on your own, you definitely want to make sure you have a solid and concise business plan that's done your homework. Things like your executive summary, things like your market comp analysis, things like your 10-year sales forecast, things like your break-even analysis. Now, yeah, you can go ahead and use ChatGPT or buy a business plan off Rocket Lawyer or something like that, but it's not going to be concise. It's not going to be made for event spaces. And I'm letting you know right now, any realtor or landlord that you send that to when you're applying for an event space is probably going to laugh you out the window. So you definitely want to make sure that whatever business plan you create and you send over to these applications and to these brokers, you really do your homework and make sure that it gets done and it's concise and it really addresses the market and shows that you're going to be able to pay that rent for the next 12, 24, 36, 48, or even 72 months. Let's get it. The next thing that you definitely want to do is make sure you have your personal credit in order. Now, I'm not going to go too deep into this because I have several videos breaking down the credit pie and whatnot, but before you even look at getting business funding, you definitely want to look at having your personal credit in order, making sure you don't have anything like crazy repos, late payments, collections, bankruptcies, things of that nature, so that you can utilize and leverage your personal credit to go ahead and get business credit. Now, I know a lot of times people talk about things like net 30s and vendor accounts and whatnot, and yeah, all those things are important and cool, but nothing's more important than having your personal credit in order. And I'm letting you know right now, if you don't have your personal credit in order, one, no realtor or landlord is probably going to take you seriously, and two, it's going to be very, very difficult to get funding. Even if you are able to skate by and get funding, again, most landlords or realtors probably aren't going to look at you unless you have at least a 650, 680, unless you have some crazy money in the bank account. Just telling you from personal experience. The next thing you definitely want to consider when you are getting business funding and whatnot is, of course, choosing the right location. You can have all the money in the world. If you don't choose the right location, you don't choose the right place, and you don't choose something with the right amenities, you could be setting yourself up for disaster. I've seen this time and time and time again. Literally, I just saw somebody want to back out of their lease because they went ahead against our knowledge. And like, mind you, like, we have some times that like people pay us for consulting and they still go and do what they want, which doesn't make any sense. But literally, we had a client that went ahead, signed a lease against our better knowledge, and then they're just like, oh, how do we get out? Well, you kind of already signed the lease, so it's very difficult to get out at this point. We weighed out some options, we showed them that, look, these are the options that you're gonna be playing. Either you're gonna have to pay a whole bunch of money or you're gonna have to walk out and things of that nature. And it's not the best situation. Me personally, I would have rather just waited until we found a really, really good deal, but can't hold everybody's hand. So one of the biggest things that no matter what kind of funding you have or anything like that, I would hate to see anybody, whether you're an Event Space Elite or not, to go ahead and put down a whole bunch of money on a space and it really does not work out. Second to final thing that I really want to talk about, building business credit, right? Now, of course, if you have a brand new LLC and you just got your credit score up to snuff and up to the 680 and whatnot, it's going to take a little bit of time to get your business credit up and running. But that does not mean that you should not start building it. Things like the net 30 accounts, things like the vendor accounts, things like building up with Nav, Uline, Granger, all those net 30 accounts and whatnot, they actually do help. And they can actually put put you in a much greater position in the next 60 to 90 days to go ahead and leverage those relationships with those vendors so you can get more funding in the near future. The last thing that I really want to talk about is marketing your space, right? Because obviously, like I mentioned before with location, there's no point in having a really good location. There's no point in having really good funding if you cannot go ahead and market the space. I've seen firsthand spaces go out of business because they're just like, oh, well, you know, I'll get the space and people will come, and the people never come. If you do not know how to market your space, that is probably one of the most valuable skill sets when it comes to this business, or any business for that matter. If you cannot systematically and predictably generate leads for your business, there's no point in even starting it. Guys, my name is Brian Waldron. If you found this video really helpful, definitely make sure you subscribe, like, and comment. If you are interested in starting your own event space and you want some help, definitely make sure you check out our description and apply with the link. That way we'll be able to show you how you're gonna find your own event space in the next 60 days with our help. Let's get it. Let's go.